You are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
We got to talk about this whole situation where Trump has been gunning hardcore for the Nobel Peace Prize. All right. He's been trying to get that since he got back into office. Okay. And I'm going to say this too. Let me just say this. With what he is in the middle of doing right now, with the stuff that's going on in the Middle East, okay, with him trying to bring peace and a ceasefire between Gaza and Israel, obviously, that is an amazing feat. A lot of people reacting to his Nobel snub, which I don't see this being a Nobel Peace Prize snub. It's just called timing, everybody. He's not done. Then also, you got to remember all the stuff that's going on in our country right now as well. What's being reported, the National Guards being put in various areas, him trying to go over the certain states' governor's wishes and all that. It's not a great look. You talk about peace, Nobel Peace Prize, and what that stands for. He's bringing peace in the Middle East when he's not even looking at peace in his own country that he's leading. That's very important. Bring peace here too. We need peace here too. We don't need America to turn into Israel, Gaza. We really don't. See what I'm saying? So again, he's stoking the flames in his own country while he's trying to make things quell in other countries. It doesn't make any sense. It's opposite day or something like that, right? But he's been hell-bent, real talk. And I get it. He's been hell-bent on that goal, getting that Nobel Peace Prize. He wants to leave this planet knowing that he got that Nobel Peace Prize, because next thing you know, his name will be forever in infamy for having that Nobel Peace Prize. With all due respect, like I said, what he's doing, let me tell you this really quick. I'm not sitting here trying to dog Trump, okay? No, I'm not. I'm just speaking like it is. I'm telling it like it is. What Trump is doing between Israel and Gaza, when he gets that done, that will be a feat no one has ever been able to do. That'll be amazing. And I think I'm very excited when that does go down, but it hasn't gone down yet. Okay? We have not gotten there yet. So when it gets there, hell yeah, put him on the list. But it hasn't gotten there yet. And also, I think this also too, for him to bring peace to this country as well. Because that's also what they're looking at as well, at least in my personal opinion. Let's take a look at this. Okay, Nobel Peace Prize chair gives sneering justification for snubbing Trump for Venezuelan opposition leader María Corina Machado. Hopefully I'm saying that last name correct. So Nobel Peace Committee chairman today suggested that Donald J. Trump did not receive the prize because he was not the most deserving candidate. Oh, dun, dun, dun. Diggity damn. So Jorgen, okay, Friedness, okay, I don't know if I'm saying his last name right, so I apologize, was quizzed by reporters about the impact of Trump's campaign to win the distinguished prize and the mounting speculation about whether he'd be successful. So this chairman, Friedness, responded diplomatically, batting the question away as he explained why the committee chose Venezuelan opposition leader María Corina Machado instead. In the long history of Nobel Peace Prize, this committee has seen every type of campaign, he said. We receive thousands and thousands of letters every year of people wanting to say what, for them, leads to peace. This committee sits in a room filled with the portraits of all laureates, and that room is filled with courage and integrity. We base our decision only on the work and the will of Alfred Nobel, or Nobel, he said. The White House has since responded after the Nobel Peace Prize was awarded to Machado instead of Trump. The Nobel Committee proved they place politics over peace, said Steven Cheung, the president's director of communication. He's really great at communicating, is he not? But moving on. I mean, if you really think about it, the Nobel Committee proved they place politics over peace. Is that really what you want to say? You know what I'm saying? Is that really what you want to say to the Nobel Peace Prize Committee? Like, they hold the reins, they hold the decision. Every time he could be sitting there going, look, I stopped all famine and I cured homelessness throughout the entire world. Everyone has a home. Everyone has a job. See, Nobel Committee, give me my Nobel Peace Prize. They're going to be like, well, you just said we only place politics over peace. You think we forgot about that, bro? Nah, homie, we good. We're going to give it to this Venezuelan girl. See you later. Bye. And this is her right here. Okay? You get a burrito. I'm sorry, that was messed up, but you know, sorry. You know? You know? I don't know who she is, to be honest. Venezuelan opposition leader María Corina Machado addresses supporters during a protest called by the opposition on the eve of the presidential inauguration in Caracas on January 9th, 2025. So the Nobel Committee announced Machado as the prize's 2025 winner on Friday. So today, she was honored for her tireless work promoting democratic rights for the people of Venezuela and for her struggle to achieve a just and peaceful transition from dictatorship to democracy. And this is what Friedness said. Okay. And he is the chair of the Norwegian Nobel Committee in Oslo. The announcement came as Israel's military declared the Gaza ceasefire agreement had now come into effect following a vote in the cabinet last night. Now, it has come into effect, but is it actually going down? I don't know. The U.S. president's name, heavily floated in the media in the recent weeks, did not make the final cut. President Trump will continue making peace deals around the world, ending wars and saving lives, as Cheung said in a statement. He has the heart of a humanitarian, and there will never be anyone like him who can move mountains and with the sheer force of his will. Why do I feel like I have to be yelling when I say these things? Speaking, like, whenever they speak for Trump in a way, it's always like in this, like, he is 10 feet tall. He is the most intelligent man in the history of intelligence of man. Have you not noticed that? He has a heart of a humanitarian. And there will never be anyone like him or who can move mountains with sheer force of his will. Don't you realize, don't you feel that a little bit? Just a little bit? Like he should be on a podium screaming in front of people. You know what I mean? 9! I'm kidding. But you see what I'm saying? It just feels like that. It reminds me of when his first inauguration day, and I forgot his name. What was his name? Spicer? I think Sean Spicer. I think that was his name. Remember, he was like the press secretary, And they were like, it was not a good turnout. Not a whole lot of people showed up. And he's like, it was the best turnout in the history of inaugurations ever. Right. And I was like, oh, damn, that is going to be what we get. That's the vibe we're going to get forever. And we still do. Even Cheung is sitting here going, he's the heart of a humanitarian and the passion of a lion. You see what I'm saying? Crazy. So in the months leading up to the decision, Trump had vigorously pitched himself as a peacemaker. He offered himself as a bridge builder and pointed to his 20-point Gaza plan and repeatedly insisted he had ended multiple wars. The two-time U.S. president has been on a not-so-subtle Nobel Peace Prize campaign since his first term in office, when he claimed many people thought he had earned it. Speculation he could win the award this year began after he brokered the historic peace agreement between Israel and Hamas to end the 2-year war in Gaza. Both sides have agreed to the first phase of Trump's plan to pause fighting and release hostages, a deal that could open the way to ending a brutal conflict that has killed tens of thousands of people and unleashed a humanitarian catastrophe. Now, again, like I said, let's be real. How many, where is there peace already happening out there? Like I said, it just happened. It just happened. He's like, look, it's underway. So give me that Nobel Peace Prize, right? So Machado has lauded for being a key unifying figure in a political opposition that was once deeply divided, an opposition that found common ground in the demand for free elections and representative government. In the past year, Ms. Machado has been forced to live in hiding despite serious threats against her life. She has remained in the country, a choice that has inspired millions. When authoritarians seize power, it is crucial to recognize courageous defenders of freedom who rise and resist, he said. So Nicolas Maduro's government routinely targeted its real and perceived opponents ahead of last year's presidential election. Machado was set to run against Maduro, but the government disqualified her. Edmundo Gonzalez took her place. He had never run office before. The lead up to this election saw widespread repression, including disqualifications, arrests, and human rights violations. The crackdown on dissent only increased after the country's National Electoral Council, which is stacked with Maduro loyalists, declared him the winner despite credible evidence to the contrary. The U.S. president emerged unsuccessful following a series of obstacles, including that nominations for this year's award, of which there were 338, closed at the end of January, not only after Trump returned to office. Let's take a look at this.
Peace Prize goes to Venezuelan opposition leader María Corina Machado. The Nobel Committee made the announcement this morning, calling Machado a brave and committed champion of peace for her work promoting democratic rights for the people of Venezuela. Machado founded a group that works to promote free and fair elections. She was then elected to Venezuela's National Assembly with a record number of votes, but the Maduro regime expelled her from office and then barred her from running for president. Now she says she's honored, humble, and very grateful on behalf of the Venezuelan people.
I have no words. Thank you so much. But I hope you understand this is a movement. This is a achievement of a whole society. I am just one person. I certainly do not deserve this.
Foreign correspondent Tom Sufi-Burridge is here for more on that. Hi, Tom. So the Nobel Committee says democracy is in retreat internationally. How significant is this recognition, choosing this person for the Nobel Peace Prize? And how do you think it could affect the fight for democracy in Venezuela and beyond?
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting choice, Diane. Look, María Corina Machado, it will be a massive boost for her international profile. It shines a big light on her cause, and she continues to campaign for democracy in Venezuela and a peaceful transition of power away from the Maduro regime. I mean, arguably, the Maduro regime might now see her as more of a threat, although she's already in hiding and has been for months. But, it will shine a light on Venezuela. It will isolate internationally the Maduro regime further. But I don't think we should overplay the significance at the moment that regime has an iron grip on power.
I spoke to Machado last year, and she told me the most important thing is that her movement has the support of the people. I want to play some of that conversation for you.
We need to put all the pressure on Nicolas Maduro so that he understands that the cost of staying in power will be higher. It's getting higher every day until the cost of leaving power is less than that. And that's what we need to do right now. We need to put all pressure from within, and that's what we are doing, even we're persecuted and being under repression. I've been accused of terrorism. The regime is looking for me, and that's happening with most of our members of our teams. But we are working, we are willing to fight, as well as our Venezuela diaspora around the world. So this is a moment to move ahead, to put pressure on Maduro and to make him understand that all those that have committed crimes against humanity will be held accountable.
Now, I want to make this abundantly clear. There's something about this candidate, okay, this winner, that is a little bit different than what we're seeing from Trump. Can you tell what it is? I mean, aside from her being female and Venezuelan, okay? This is, it's very telling, okay? It's the approach. It's just who she is. She's doing this for her people. She's doing this for her people. This woman is in hiding. She's trying to take out the corruption. She speaks about peace. She's trying to bring peace and democracy to her people. You can also say humble, yes, Jalissa. You could definitely say humble. But if you notice, she got nominated and she got what she got, this prize, because she's not trying for it. Does that make sense? All the moves that we've been seeing from Trump lately, everything he's been saying is oh, maybe I should get the Peace Prize. Maybe I should get the Nobel Peace Prize. Everything that he's been doing, all the moves that he's been making, I don't know if he's doing it for the people or if it's just so that he can get his name on that list and get that Nobel Peace Prize awarded to him. I'm just speaking. I'm just seeing what I'm seeing. Okay. I'm just seeing what I'm seeing. Hold on. Did I lose it?
The Norwegian.
Okay. There it is. We got to take a look at this because I want to see what Jorgen Friedness said. Okay. Because again, and just hear it from his own mouth. But if you really if you look at it, if you realize this, like literally, it sounds like all the moves that he's been making has solely been about getting the award. That's it. That's all he wants to do is get the award. So he has that another notch on his bedpost of accomplishments that he has made, right? Okay, I'll just do all this stuff because this looks good. And don't get me wrong, he has done a lot of really great things as far as like stopping wars and doing all what he's been doing as far as those things go. But then my only opposing argument is what we're seeing here on American soil. There is no peace right now. He is jumping over and jumping through hoops to do as much as he can to try to get National Guard in places on his own, in his own country. He said out loud that the enemy is from within. He is saying that the left are monsters, such and such. Like, these are all bad things. This is not political, y'all. They're watching everything that he's doing. You see what I'm saying? You can't sit here and say that he's doing all of this and they're just going to look at, oh, well, he's making things peaceful in Gaza, but totally ignore what he's doing in his own country, causing a lot of issues, causing turmoil, causing an upheaval. And this is what judges and other governors from other states and people from all over in those areas are reacting to. This is not them sitting there going like, oh, well, just let them go. We need the National Guard in there, or we need ICE to be ripping through places and all that. There is not peace in that. That is not peaceful. So as much as he's like, look at what I'm doing, guys. Look at all the plates I'm spinning over here. It's like, well, you got a whole sink full of dishes in your own kitchen that you need to be spinning and cleaning off and spinning right now, but you're not doing that over here. You're doing it all the way over here in Venezuela. You're doing it all the way over here in Gaza and Israel. Cool that you can spin these plates over here. Bet. Congratulations. Do you, boo-boo? Yes. Hercules. But what's going on over here, though? There's a sink filled with filthy dishes, and instead of you washing those dishes, you're taking them out and just smashing one by one on the ground. And then on top of that, to add insult to injury, you're not even willing to pick this up, clean up the mess a little bit. No, you just keep adding to it. And then you keep pointing blame at Consuela, who is the one housekeeping your home. That's literally what's going on right now. That's crazy. That's crazy. You don't think Nobel Peace Prize Committee or the Nobel Committee is not looking at that and going, yo, this is crazy. That's not good. Cool that he's doing it over here, but what about over here? Should be peace all the way around. Universal, international peace, right? But he's not doing that. Okay, let's take a look at this. All right.
The Nobel Committee has decided to award the Nobel Peace Prize for 2025 to María Corina Machado. She is receiving the Nobel Peace Prize for her tireless work promoting democratic rights for the people of Venezuela.
The Nobel Peace Prize winner, María Corina Machado from Venezuela, Latin America. We do want to go now live to our Selma Abdelaziz, who is in London, here to give us a little bit more context of maybe why this is the recipient this year and what the background is here.
Now, I want to make this abundantly clear, just so you know, because I was just looking this up too. I was like, do Nobel Peace Prizes happen every year, or is it like once every 4 years or something like that? Nope. It happens every year. Nobel Peace Prizes are awarded annually, with announcements typically happening in early October and ceremonies done in early December, the anniversary of Alfred Nobel's passing. So exceptions to the annual schedule have occurred, most often due to world wars, and the prizes can be withheld if no work is deemed significant enough. So again, they can withhold prizes that year, if they're like, yeah, no one's trying to be peaceful out here, y'all losing your damn minds, that is a possibility, right? So again, Trump might be upset about it, but he still has plenty of time to get it. He's got 3 more years in office if he ever leaves office. And I know that's one thing that some people are wondering, if he's never going to leave office, right? But that's one thing. He has 3 more years to do this, but that's what I'm saying. You need to see what's going on in your own backyard, homie. And there needs to be peace brought to your own backyard before you start going, look at all the peace I'm doing over here. You see what I'm saying? Look at all the peace that I'm doing over here. You need to look at the peace that you need to be bringing here in this country too, right? But let me continue.
It is very easy to see, Brian, why she was chosen by the Nobel Committee. This is a woman who has dedicated her life to her country, Venezuela, which is, of course, now suffered under an economic crisis, under what is widely seen as a dictatorship, under increasing repression. And she has faced off with those authorities both boldly, bravely, and unbowingly. Just to go over a little bit of who she is, she was elected a member of the National Assembly in 2011. She held that seat for nearly 3 years and was eventually stripped of that seat. She tried to run for presidential elections and was also removed from the ballot, and that's not due to her popularity. Brian, there is an understanding that she has deep popularity on the ground and a huge movement behind her. About a year ago, she went into hiding, fearing for her life. We understand she remains in hiding. She recently did an interview with Elle magazine, speaking of that experience, saying that she's barely seen the sun in months, but that she continues to fight for what she believes in.
That's wild.
And that is fundamentally at its core for a peaceful transition to democracy for a country, again, that has suffered deeply under dictatorship. So
again, I think it's incredible and wild that you have the likes of this María Corina Machado that is literally hiding. Like, she's holed up somewhere in the darkness somewhere. And she has received a Nobel Peace Prize because of her dedication, her devotion to the Venezuelan people in trying to bring true democracy to that country. That's commendable. That, to me, makes sense why she received the Nobel Peace Prize. And again, the ones that are out here going, oh, she's a no-name, she's a nobody, the blah, blah, blah. Where does she come from? Venezuelan? Well, that Nobel Peace Prize is not only just about bringing peace to places. It's also showing sacrifice, showing dedication, doing whatever you need to do to try to help the people, being selfless. And to me, that's what she's exuding. This is what she's exuding with her countless days of hiding out somewhere, right? Let's be real. She's definitely making a difference. She's doing something for her people. Right now, we're seeing a lot of stuff here in America that I think that they might be seeing as well. And they're saying, oh, their response was about, oh, they're looking at politics rather than policy, right? Well, they're looking at her and what she's doing. Her unfeathered devotion and dedication to helping her own people. That's commendable, in my personal opinion. That's absolutely commendable. That makes sense that she would get nominated, if not win, over the likes of anybody else. Like I said, I feel like Trump has been just going painting by numbers, right? It's interesting. It's like taking 2 paintings. One is paint by numbers and it's the same, the same type of painting, same design, right? They're going to paint a cockatoo, okay? They're painting a parrot. You got one where it's paint by numbers. And you got another one that's painted with talent or with passion, inspiration, whatever, what have you. What do you think is going to look like a better painting? Most likely the one that isn't paint by numbers. Because it's going to be clearly, okay, this person painted with creativity, some ingenuity, and painted with their own voice, with their own perspective, right? That paint by numbers, sure, it's going to be pretty. It's still going to look good, but multiple other people have done the same thing, right? Painted the same parrot, same bird in the same way. And I feel like that's what's going on. Look at what I did. Look at all these things that I've done. It feels a bit like he's doing all of this just so he can get the Nobel Peace Prize. Because I know I'm about to say something crazy, and I know some of y'all are going to be mad about what I'm saying, but I always think that there's a constant competition with former President Barack Obama. Yes, I said it. And I think that there's a lot of things that he has been awarded or that he's been able to do. And I'm not sitting here saying that Obama's the best president. I'm not. So hold on. All I'm saying is I feel like he sees the accomplishments that he's been able to get, like a Nobel Peace Prize. And he goes, well, I should get that same thing too. There is a competition going on there, clearly. And anybody that has anything to do with anything left, he wants to annihilate that as best as he can. Anything left. And if it's something that's going on, we hear it all the time. He turns and he goes, can't you see this is what happened because of Biden? It's because of the left. It has nothing to do with me. Everything that's gone bad has nothing to do with me. It's because of the left, right? But then you see something like Obama getting Nobel Peace Prize, and I'm sure that pissed him off. And he's like, nope, I'm getting that this year or this term. Dag nabbit. If he got it, I'm getting it. Damn it. And I'm going to get it while I'm in office, not after I'm in office. I'm going to do it while I'm in office. Watch me. And I think that's what the focus is. He will stop at nothing to try to go see what I did. See me feeding this hungry child with a spoon of rice in his mouth. Don't you see? Don't you see what I'm doing? I'm doing good things. Give me that Peace Prize. See what I'm saying? But he really needs to focus on what's going on here in this country. And I think that's one of the reasons why he did not get it. Sorry, not sorry.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.